Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will discuss about the structures of the pistil and ovule. Okay, female reproductive organ. Previous day I will discuss and I have completed already the male reproductive parts and its related questions. And today I will discuss about the female reproductive part, that is the structure of the pistil. And good afternoon, everyone. So first I will tell you the structure of the pistil. You know that the gynoecium or the pistil, it has the different parts, and that is the female reproductive organs of the flower. So I will discuss about the structure of the pistil. You have seen the structure of the pistil. So pistil is just like looking like that. You know that pistil. This one is called stigma. The stalk-like structure is called style, and the bulging part, the base part, is known as the ovary. Okay, and this one is the thalamus, the flowering part. So this is the structures of the female reproductive organ, just looking like that, and this is the stigma, style and ovary. These three parts are present in a pistil. So you can say pistil has three parts: stigma, this one is style, and the last part, the bulging part, is called ovary. This ovary converted into the fruit and ovules that present inside this ovary. And the pistil, so stigma, you know that is the receptive part. Receptive part because that is the platform for attracting of different types of the pollinating agents. It can intake the pollen grains, so it can receive. So that one is the receptive parts. Okay. So terminal receptive part, you can say that terminal receptive part of pistil, which function as landing platform for pollen grain. So pistil, this head part, that is just function as the landing part of the pollen grain. The insects first, that is the attached with their egg or anything by air, wind, anything. First one, the pollen grains just landed on the receptive part, that is known as the stigma. Okay. Then style. What is style? You can see that is the elongated stalk-like structure that connect ovary with the stigma. Okay. This stigma and ovary, these two parts are connected by the style, the stalk-like structures, and it also helps in the formation of the pollen tube, because pollen grains first landing on the stigma, then pollen grain reaches to the ovary part through the pollen tube, and this pollen tube form from the stigma to ovary inside the style. Okay. So you can say the style is elongated part narrow stalk, elongated narrow stalk that connect ovary with stigma. So this one is known as the style. Okay, and the last part, that is the bulging part, that is the ovary. This is the main part. So ovary, the basal swollen part or bulging part of the pistil is known as the ovary, and inside the ovary there is the ovarian cavity is present, there is the placenta is present, and inside the placenta there is ovule is present. Then the ovule is converted into the seeds and ovary converted into the fruits. Okay, so in case of the ovary you can write that the basal swollen part of pistil. So these are the three main part of the pistil: stigma, style and ovary. Stigma just act like as the landing platform from the pollen grains. This is the receptive part where the by air, by wind, or maybe any type of the pollinating agents, the pollen grains stick to the stigma part. And then the stalk, that is the elongated narrow stalk like structure that helps in the formation of the pollen tube, and it also connected the stigma with the ovary, because without the pollen tube, how the from the stigma to ovary, how the pollen grain will be reached. So that's why the pollen tube is needed, and pollen tube form inside the, there is some soft tissues are present which helps to formation in the pollen tube inside the style. And the last part, that is the ovary, the basal part, the swollen part, and this part is converted into the fruit. Okay, so these three main part of the pollen grain, pistil. Now the another part of the pistil, now the different cavity that present inside the ovary. So ovary contains ovarian cavity. Okay, ovary contains ovarian cavity. Ovary contains ovarian cavity. Okay, inside the ovary there is the cavity is present, that's known as the ovarian cavity, and it has one or more chambers. Inside the ovarian cavity there is also some chambers are present. Okay, it has one or more chamber or locus. Okay, chamber are also known as the locus, locules, you can say that, locules. Next, placenta. Placenta present inside the ovarian cavity. Okay, placenta present inside the ovarian cavity. Ovules arises from the ovules that form into the seeds. These ovules arises from the placenta. Okay, so this is the structure. First ovary, inside the ovary there is ovarian cavity is present, and inside the ovarian cavity there is some chambers are present, and inside the chambers there is placenta is present, and placenta helps in the formation of the ovules. So you can give the arrow, that is the ovary, you can say that ovary, that is ovarian cavity, then placenta, placenta to ovule. So this is the structures of the female reproductive organ, how the ovule is produced inside the placenta. Okay, complete. Now I will give you structures of the ovule or megasporangium. You know that microsporangium means pollen grain. Now I will give you the structures of the ovule or megasporangium. This picture is very much important for your board exam. This coming years after year, just follow that pictures from your book and try to draw this so many numbers of times. Okay, this is very important pictures, the structures of the megasporogenesis or the structures of the ovule, and you should remember the different parts of the ovule and their definition also. Okay. Structures of the ovule or megasporangium. Draw this structure, and this is very much important structure, the structures of the ovule or megasporogenesis. And there from this part so many short question will coming of this type, different parts of this ovule, what is called this, what is called that. Okay. So this part is known as funicle, F-U-N-I-C-L-E. This part is known as funicle. This part is known as hilum. This part is known as hilum. You can see this picture from your book also. This head part, the opening, that is known as micropyle. This is very small pore, micropyle. Next part is the micropolar pilar pole. This part is known as micropilar pole. This outer structure is known as outer integument. That is epidermis, you can say that outer integument, covering integument. This part is known as inner integument. This is nucellus. This is embryo sac. This egg-like structure, that is ovary, that is known as embryo sac, and that is called chalazal pole. This part is known as chalaza and this pole is known as the chalazal pole. Okay. So this is the structure of megasporogenesis. Okay, so you can see this structure from your book also, and there is so many parts are present in a ovule or megasporogenesis, and you can see that funicle, hilum, micropyle, micropylar pole, outer integument, micropyle and chalaza always present on the opposite. Okay, so this part is micropylar and the end part is known as the chalaza. Okay, always remember that the both are north pole and south pole. Always micropylar pole and chalaza will be present in the opposite direction. Okay, and inner integument, nucellus, embryo sac, chalazal pole and chalaza. Now I will give you the definition of the each and every part of this ovule. Clear everyone? Micropyle. Okay. Yeah, Marjan, I will write down, but you maybe not so that micropyle. Okay, no problem. Okay, now I will tell you the different definition of this ovule. Now I will ovules different part. The first one, funicle. What is funicle? Funicle, you know that there is a stalk-like structure. So the ovule is attached to the placenta by a stalk is called funicle. Okay, so ovule where it attached with the placenta, that is, you know that ovule arises from the placenta. So the ovule attached with the placenta by a stalk-like structure, that is known as the funicle. Okay, so ovule attached with the placenta, that is known as the funicle. Hilum. What is hilum? Hilum, the region where body ovule fuses with the funicle. Okay, where the body of the ovule fuses with the funicle. So ovule attached with the placenta is known as the funicle, and the funicle attached with the ovule, that is known as the hilum. The region where the body of ovule fuses with funicle. Okay, that is known as the ovule. Next, integument. What is integument? You know that the covering, that is the each ovule has one or two multicellular protective layer. That may be one, that may be two. Okay, multicellular protective layer, that is known as the two. You know that outer integument, inner integument, so that's why it is known as the integument. Okay, each ovule has one or two multicellular protective layer called integument. Okay, so these three are the then I will give the next. I just draw the pictures this direction, but when the ovule present totally inverted, opposite position, when you draw these pictures in this like manner, this one is known as the anatropous ovule. Okay, when that totally back 180-degree opposite, okay, that is known as the with the stalk. When the ovule attached with the stalk, that is totally inverted, you can say that, that is you can say that totally opposite in their structure, that is known as the anatropous ovule. Next, nucellus. What is nucellus? Nucellus is a mass of parenchyma cell, okay, that within the integument. It encloses within the, it has abundant reserve food material. Actually, nucellus is present for their nutrition. This is the opening the small surface area, that is totally reserved food for the ovule, okay. Nucellus, a mass of parenchyma cell enclosed within the integument has abundant reserve food material. This gives actually nutrition to the ovule. Marjan, can you understand what is anatropous ovule? You can see the picture also, that is totally different, totally just opposite direction. When the chalazal pole will be the upside and microphylar pole will be the down, okay? That is known as the anatropous ovule. Micropyle. What is micropyle? Micropyle is integument encircle the nucleus except the tip and leave a narrow spaces. You can see that the integument totally covered, but a small portion at the tip or at the head part that is opening or leave that area. This area is known as the in micropyle. Integument, encircle the nucellus except at the tip and leave a narrow passage. Is called micropyle. Okay, leave a narrow passage, that is known as the micropyle. Next, chalaza, and last one, that is embryo sac. What is chalaza? Chalaza, just opposite side of the micropyle. The place of origin of integument usually lies at the opposite of the micropyle. So integument arises from the, just like the ovule arises from the placenta, integument arises from the chalaza part. Okay, the place of origin of integument usually lies at the opposite of micropylar end is called chalaza. Okay, and the last one, embryo sac, that is the ovary, embryo sac or microsporangium, you can say also that. So located in the nucellus, it is formed from a megaspore. Located in the, you know that the center part that is covered nucellus, that is located in the nucellus. It is formed from a megaspore or ovule. Okay, megaspore. So these are the total structure of the microsporangium or ovary or ovule, and how the different parts and what is the definition of the differentiation, what is the apropos condition and syncarpus. Apocarpus and syncarpus, previous day I will say you Marjan. Apocarpus mean the free unit, when the pistils are free, that may be one, that may be more. When the pistils are joined, syncarpus, when the more than one pistils are joined together. Okay, they are not free, that is known as the syncarpus. Clear? Apo means away or separate, syns mean together. Okay, and carpus mean fruit. When the pistils, the head part, you can see the hibiscus plant, the head part of the pistil, they are free. Okay, and syncarpus, you can see any type of the marigold or any type of the plant, they are just totally fused. Okay, that is known as the syncarpus. So if you have any question, you can ask me or your Shravanti ma'am, and read the chapter very carefully. This is up to for the today, and draw the pictures very carefully. I will tell you so many times that this, all the pictures from this chapter is very much important, and so many short question will come from this chapter and broad question also. Okay, so prepare yourself. Thank you everyone, and bye everyone. Asnihar, Parveen and Sheikh Marjan. Okay, thank you.